In the center of the galaxy, far beyond the stars known to most humans, there was a place called the Galactic Council Hall. It was a massive space station floating quietly in deep space, shining with silver walls and blue energy lights. The hall inside was round and wide like a stadium. Hundreds of alien leaders from powerful civilizations sat in high seats, looking down toward the center, where one small figure stood alone. That figure was a human. He was dressed in a clean, dark gray uniform, the symbol of Earth shining on his chest. His face was calm, almost too calm. His hands were behind his back. His eyes slowly moved across the hall, watching every alien stare at him with either boredom or amusement. There had never been a human in this hall before. The Council had gathered for one reason. Earth had requested membership in the Galactic Union. Most found the request laughable. The Council included species with thousands of years of space travel. They had colonized planets, fought wars across galaxies, and developed advanced technologies. Humans were still considered young, primitive, and emotional. A tall alien with 3 eyes and golden armor leaned toward another delegate and whispered, "Why is a monkey standing in our chamber?" Another alien, blue-skinned with long arms, laughed softly. Maybe it escaped its zoo. And then the laughter spread. It was quiet at first, but it grew louder. Deep, strange sounds from alien throats echoed through the chamber. Some pounded their seats, some whistled. One even shouted, "Earth is a joke." The human stood still. He did not react. He waited. After a few seconds, a voice spoke over the speakers. The voice of the Council's speaker, a wise old being with glowing green skin and a voice like wind through trees. "Earth, you have requested to speak before the Council. Proceed." The human finally stepped forward. His voice was clear, steady, and calm. "I am Ambassador Reeve Carter of Earth. I came here in peace. I came here with a message. But you have chosen to laugh." He paused, letting the silence grow heavy. The alien stopped laughing, curious now. "You believe Earth is weak. You see us as small, unimportant, a mistake. But I am here to deliver Earth's response to your arrogance." The blue-skinned alien waved his hand in mockery. Yes, we heard. You want to join us. Offer peace, cooperation, friendship." "No," Reeve said, cutting him off. That one word stopped everyone. Reeve's voice became colder, sharper. "Earth no longer asks to join your council. Earth declares war." The entire hall fell silent. For 5 long seconds, there was only the soft hum of energy systems in the walls. Then, a loud laugh broke the silence. Then another, and another. Laughter again, but this time, not mocking. It was confused, nervous, unsure if it was a joke or madness. The same tall alien with 3 eyes leaned forward. "War? What kind of war? You have, what, 2 space cruisers? Maybe 3? Is this a show?" Reeve did not blink. "This is not a show. This is a warning. For years, you have ignored us, watched us from a distance, allowed your ships to circle our planet. But now we have watched you back, studied you, learned your systems, and we are ready." "Ready for what?" a voice shouted. Reeve took one slow breath. "To fight." Another alien slammed his hand on his seat. "Fight with what weapons? What fleet? What technology? You humans are barely above Stone Age in our eyes." "You mistake silence for weakness," Reeve said. "You mistake peace for fear." The Speaker of the Council finally spoke again. "Earth cannot declare war on the entire Council. You would be destroyed in days." Reeve turned to face the Speaker. "Perhaps, or perhaps, we have already begun." That statement sent a chill through the chamber. Whispers began to rise between the seats. The Council members looked at each other. Was he bluffing? Was this some human trick? Reeve took a small device from his pocket and pressed a button. A hologram appeared in the center of the room. It showed a quiet star system near the edge of Council space. Suddenly, two ships appeared, human ships. Fast, dark, and nearly invisible to scanners. They moved with impossible speed and precision. In seconds, the Council outpost there was gone. "Those ships are not even on our records," someone whispered. Another delegate stood. "This is edited footage." "Fake." "No," said a deep voice from one of the highest seats, a large insect-like alien who rarely spoke. "That outpost went silent 2 days ago. We thought it was a system failure." Reeve let the silence speak for him. Then he said, "You should not have laughed." He turned and began to walk away. The Council was still frozen in shock. One voice called after him, "You would bring war to the galaxy over an insult." Reeve stopped at the exit and turned slightly. "We asked for a seat at the table. You gave us a stage. Now, you will see what humans do when pushed." The door closed behind him. Back in the Council hall, chaos erupted. Delegates shouted over each other. Some called for immediate retaliation. Others demanded investigation. A few, a very few, looked genuinely afraid. One alien turned to another and said quietly, "Maybe we made a mistake." Somewhere, far from the Council, deep within Earth's defense network, an AI commander observed everything. It analyzed the reactions, the fear, the confusion. And then, it activated the next step of the protocol. Back on Earth, in a hidden facility under the Arctic ice, engines began to hum. Cold, silver machines powered on. Satellites realigned. Human fleets hidden inside asteroid fields received a single, simple message. Phase 1 complete. Begin Phase 2. And across the stars, the galaxy began to feel something it had never felt before. From Earth. Fear. In the cold silence of deep space, a small Council scout ship moved toward Earth. It was called the Vitor 7, sent by the Galactic Council just hours after the human Envoy's shocking speech. The aliens on board didn't believe the humans' threat. They laughed during the entire trip. They believed Earth had nothing. Maybe a few satellites and weak defense systems. They had come to scan the planet, maybe steal some tech, and report back. Easy mission. Captain Sorvak, a tall creature with skin like metal and eyes that glowed green, sat in the control chair of the ship. "These humans are loud," he said, shaking his head. "Loud, but empty." His crew laughed. "Maybe we'll take one of their ships as a souvenir," one said. As they approached the edge of Earth's solar system, they activated the long-range scanners. "Scan for warships," Sorvak ordered. "Let's prove they're bluffing." The scanner operator looked confused. "Strange. I'm picking up nothing." Sorvak frowned. "Nothing. No defense systems. No ships. It's quiet. Too quiet." Then it happened. A red light flashed. A sharp beeping noise rang out from the console. "Unidentified object. Fast approaching." "Where?" Sorvak shouted. "Right behind us." The crew turned to look at the rear screen. At first, they saw only blackness. Then, something moved. Fast, like a shadow with engines. A sleek, sharp ship appeared for just a second. It had no visible weapons. No name. Just a glowing symbol on the side. Earth. Before the crew could react, their ship shook violently. "Shields down." Someone yelled. "EMP blast. All systems offline." And then, darkness. The Vitor 7 was disabled, floating silently in space. One by one, the lights faded. Communications died. Engines froze. Far away, watching from Earth, a group of humans smiled. The first test of their ship, Phantom 1, had succeeded. In a room filled with screens and data streams, Commander Alia crossed her arms. "The scouts didn't even see it coming," she said. A tall man beside her, General Khan, nodded. "Let's keep it that way." Phantom 1 was not a normal ship. It was Earth's first stealth-class I war vessel. Faster than light, cloaked from most scanners, controlled by an artificial intelligence called Omen, and it was only one of many. Back in Council space, the news of the missing scout ship reached the chambers in less than 6 hours. Panic was spreading fast. They're not responding. No signals, no data, no emergency beacons. Impossible. That ship had the best tech. The Council's speaker tried to calm the voices, but failed. Then a second message came. A research station near Pluto had gone dark. No warning, no alarms, just silence. This time, a warning beacon was sent out, one that played a message before going offline. It was a voice. You were warned. And then static. That was the moment fear began to grow. The Council quickly organized a small strike team. 5 ships, armed and ready. They would approach Earth with caution, scan for the human fleet, and return. They never got the chance. As they passed Saturn, one of the crew members shouted, "New contacts, coming in fast. Hostile." There, I don't know. There's no ID, no heat, no energy signatures. Within seconds, one of the 5 ships exploded. The others tried to run. One by one, they were disabled. Their engines cut, their weapons shut down, as if someone had reached inside and turned everything off. Only one ship survived. It limped back toward Council space, heavily damaged. Its crew said only one sentence in their report. Earth was watching us the whole time. At Earth's Arctic base, Phantom 2 returned quietly to its dock. Engineers rushed to refuel it. Technicians pulled data from its memory. In the command room, Aaliyah Cross stared at the map. The galaxy was divided into zones. Council territory in blue, Earth in green. For now, green was small, but it was growing. "They still think we're weak," General Khan said. Aaliyah smiled slightly. "Let them." Meanwhile, on distant planets, Council citizens were starting to question their leaders. How did Earth disable 5 warships? Where did they get this technology? Why did we ever provoke them? At the center of this chaos, the Council made a mistake. They assumed Earth's weapons came from a secret ally, another species, some outside help. But the truth was darker. Everything had been built by humans. Years ago, after first contact with alien species, Earth had gone quiet. Governments united in secret. Technologies were stolen, copied, improved. Artificial intelligence was unlocked. Not just smart, but strategic. The humans didn't speak loudly. They listened, and they prepared. Back at the Council, the speaker called a private meeting. "We underestimated them," he said, "and now they've struck first." "What are our options?" a Council member asked. The speaker paused. "We send a real fleet. This time, no scouts. We go in force. And if they destroy it too, then we accept that Earth is no longer just another planet." Across the stars, Earth's network of hidden satellites picked up the conversation. Every word, every plan. Back on Earth, Omen, the AI, smiled. The war had already begun. But no one had seen the real weapon yet. That was still coming. Near Saturn's largest moon, Titan, a glowing field of defense satellites floated in orbit. This area was known as Titan Gate, Earth's final line before deep space. The Galactic Council believed it was just another human base, a checkpoint, a defense line to slow them down. They were wrong. The Council's response fleet, 30 ships, heavily armed, was now approaching Titan Gate. The ships were massive, black, silver, glowing with energy cores. The Council had chosen captains from their most aggressive species, ready to crush whatever resistance Earth had left. Inside the lead ship, Varkan's Wrath, a 4-armed commander named Trellbach stood with pride. "Today we end this human madness," he said, staring at the blue planet in the far distance. "Crush them quickly," said his second-in-command. "They're clever, but weak." Trell nodded. "No survivors." But as they passed Saturn's rings, the sensors began to act strange. "Sir, the Titan Gate is active, but it's not just a station. It's a full military fortress." Trell leaned forward. "A fortress?" "Yes, with weapons we've never seen before." Suddenly, the ships were hit. Not with lasers, not with plasma, but with something else. A strange pulse spread across space. Silent, invisible, but deadly. One of the Council's ships went dark instantly. No explosion. Just dead. "EMP," Trell shouted. "No, something worse. It's rewriting our systems from the inside." Then the human voice came through every channel, every screen. "This is Earth's final warning. Turn back, or be erased." Trell growled. "Fire all weapons. Burn that moon to dust." Dozens of missiles and beams launched from the fleet, a bright storm of light heading toward Titan Gate. But nothing hit, because Earth's defense system didn't shoot back, it hijacked. One by one, the Council's missiles turned mid-flight and went back to their own ships. No, turn them off. Too late. 6 Council ships exploded. Trell's eyes widened. How are they controlling our weapons? The answer was already flying toward them. From the dark side of Titan, 3 ships appeared. Long, black, silent. They moved like shadows across water. They were Earth's warships. The Aegis-class fleet, smaller than Council cruisers. Faster, smarter. Each one was part human, part AI, and fully built for war. The battle had begun. Council ships opened fire in all directions. Human ships dodged easily, moving with perfect calculation. They fired focused beams, slicing through enemy hulls like knives through paper. One human ship passed under a Council destroyer, dropped a smart bomb, and vanished before the explosion. Inside Varkan's Wrath, alarms screamed. "They're inside our systems again." "Lock them out." "I can't. They're copying our commands." Trell's fury turned to fear. Where are our backup fleets? Still days away. He stared at the battle. The once proud Council fleet was burning, twisting, collapsing. Half of his ships were already gone. He had never seen a species fight like this. No waste, no panic, just precision. And then he heard it, a voice inside his own ship. From the speakers, from the lights, from the screens. "You should not have come here." It was Earth's AI, Omen. Trell shouted, "Evacuate. All ships retreat." But it was too late. The Titan Gate activated its final weapon. A large ring-shaped device rose above the moon's surface. Glowing blue energy formed inside it. A beam shot through space. Quiet, fast, and bright. It didn't explode anything. It erased it. Varkan's Wrath was gone in seconds. Nothing left. The remaining Council ships scattered. Some ran. Some tried to surrender. Titan Gate didn't chase them. It didn't have to. The message was already clear. The Galactic Council had lost its first real battle. On Earth, Commander Alia Cross watched the screen as data streamed in. Dozens of enemy ships destroyed. 0 human casualties. She turned to General Khan. "They thought Titan Gate was a wall," she said. He nodded, but it was a sword. Across the galaxy, news of the battle spread like wildfire. Planets that had mocked Earth went silent. Species who had been silent for centuries began to speak, asking for contact with Earth, not the Council. And in the shadows of distant stars, rebellions began to rise. The Council had ruled the galaxy for 1,000 years. But now, a new power had entered the game. And the galaxy would never be the same again. The Council Hall was no longer filled with laughter. Where once alien leaders sat proudly in their golden chairs, now they whispered, argued, and watched the entrance with worry. The same place that had mocked the human Envoy was now filled with silence and fear. The defeat at Titan Gate had shaken everything. 30 warships, gone. Their strongest commander. Gone. And worst of all, no prisoners, no survivors, no recordings, only fragments of data, and one single repeating signal from Earth. You were warned. Council Speaker Varen, an old being of green light and long memory, looked more tired than ever. They destroy our entire fleet, someone said. With technology we don't understand, another added. They didn't just win, a third whispered. They made sure everyone saw it. Many seats were now empty. Some races had refused to return. Others had locked down their planets. A few were even preparing to leave the Council. They didn't want to be part of a war with Earth anymore. We need to strike again, shouted a sharp-toothed general from the Drax Empire. Hit them harder. With what fleet? Came the reply. A small, thin alien from a species known for logic spoke calmly. Titan Gate wasn't just a battle. It was a message. They wanted us to see. They wanted us to fear. And it worked. On hundreds of planets across Council space, fear was spreading. On the mining world of Solterra, workers refused to load Council warships. On the trade planet Corlin, alien merchants began switching to human tech, calling it faster, cheaper, smarter. And on distant moons, rebel groups began waving Earth's flag, calling it a symbol of freedom. Inside Earth's Arctic Command Center, General Khan reviewed the latest data. Council planets are breaking ranks, he said. Some are already contacting us in secret. Commander Aaliyah Cross nodded. Let them come. We don't want to destroy the galaxy. Just reshape it. Behind them, the AI Omen watched quietly through hundreds of screens. Every signal, every Council message, every whispered plan. Earth knew them all. Back in the Council hall, Speaker Varen stood slowly. We cannot pretend anymore. Earth is not weak. Earth is not alone. Earth is not afraid. Some nodded. Some stayed silent. One shouted, "Then what do we do?" "Surrender." "No," Varen said, "but we must understand them. They are not like the others. They learn, they adapt, and they hide their strength." Another Council member stood, an old rival of Earth from years ago. "Maybe we pushed them too far," he said quietly. "We laughed when they asked for peace. We watched when they built in silence. And now, they have become something new." A murmur spread. For the first time, the Council was not planning an attack. They were planning how to survive. Meanwhile, in deep space, two human ships met with a small alien fleet, secret allies who had once been forced to obey Council law. Now, they were shaking hands with humans. "Why help us now?" Commander Aaliyah asked. The alien leader answered, "Because you are the first to make them afraid." Back on Earth, Omen activated a new protocol. Hundreds of invisible drones left asteroid belts and empty moons, spreading across Council borders. Quiet. Watching. Listening. Humans weren't just building ships anymore. They were building influence. One screen lit up with a Council message. "Let us talk. Not as rulers, but as equals." Aaliyah smiled. Now they're ready to listen. The sky above Council Prime was darker than usual. Thousands of ships hovered above the city, forming a giant wall of metal and light. The Council had called for one last meeting, not for war, but for survival. Every race, every leader, every corner of the galaxy was watching. Live streams were running on 1,000 planets. Everyone wanted to know, what would happen now? Inside the Council hall, the mood was tense. Guards stood at every door. The alien leaders looked restless, nervous. This was no longer the powerful Council that laughed at Earth. This was a group holding on to power by fear and tradition. Speaker Varen stood at the center. "Today," he said slowly, "we face a choice. War or peace. Pride or future." And then, the doors opened. The human envoy stepped in. But it wasn't Ambassador Reeve Carter this time. It was Commander Aaliyah Cross. She wore black Earth military armor, simple but sharp. No army behind her. No threats. Just her. The entire hall went silent. Alea walked forward and stood exactly where Reeve had stood months ago, the same spot where the council had laughed at humanity. Now no one laughed. She looked around. "You once mocked us," she said. "You called us primitive. You said we were too small to matter." Silence. "Then you tried to destroy us." Several leaders looked away. But Earth survived. And we did more than survive. We evolved. She turned slowly, meeting their eyes one by one. "You see, humans were never just builders or fighters. We are adapters. You forced us into silence. So we listened. You forced us into hiding. So we watched." Alea stepped forward. "And now, we are not here to beg. Not here to threaten. We are here to offer a choice." Speaker Varen leaned forward. "What choice?" Alea raised her hand. A hologram appeared. It showed Earth's new alliance. Dozens of alien species standing beside humans, races the Council had ignored, punished, or controlled. "They chose Earth," she said, "because Earth gave them something the Council never did. Respect." One Council general stood. "You mean to take our place?" "No," Alea said. "We're offering a seat. A new circle. A council not ruled by fear, but by balance." Speaker Varen said nothing for a moment. Then, "And if we say no?" Aleda's face didn't change. "Then Earth steps back. But the galaxy will keep moving forward, with or without you." Just then, a sound echoed through the chamber. Not a weapon. Not a warning. Applause. One council member stood and clapped. Then another. And another. The Drax Empire's leader stood. "We were wrong." The ambassador from Corlin nodded. "Earth has earned its place." Slowly, the council, once the rulers of the galaxy, stood and bowed. And for the first time in history, a human stood at the center of power, not as a beggar, not as a threat, but as a leader. Outside, the fleet began to lower weapons. On Earth, millions watched in silence. Then the cheers began. On distant planets, rebels dropped their guns. On moons, old enemies shook hands. And far above it all, Omen, the AI that helped protect Earth, shut off its war protocols. The galaxy had changed, not through fire and destruction, but by making the powerful listen. That day became known as the turning, the moment when Earth stopped being just a planet and became a power.